In this video, I'm going to show you how to bill one of your customers for the monthly service of providing a refrigerator and restocking or restocking. The way that you enter a invoice where you have made a sale to a customer is click on the plus arrow, and then underneath the customer heading, click on invoice. And like with entering vendor invoices, when you're invoicing a customer, I think the first time that you click that you want to invoice a customer, it's going to come up with a dialog or splash screen box that says, do you want to do this? And say, yes, you do. When you start, you're not going to have any existing customers. So as with entering a vendor invoice, pull down the pull down menu, click on add new, click on the details button, and then with your customers is going to be the same as in this dialog box as it is when you set up vendors. You're going to need to enter the company name and the billing address. I have in my database all of the customers set up. I'll come down here to Watuga Furniture Company, and it'll automatically bring in your terms. Make sure that you drop the terms in the first time you set an invoice, and make sure the terms are 30 days. In the exercises and in the quizzes that are associated with exercises, you're going to need to enter balance totals and aging totals, and they may not be correct if you don't put net 30 in. And then I ask a question, what is the total of the past due invoices or past current due invoices? This is where you put in your invoice date, and put in your invoice date. It'll automatically calculate your due date. And then what I'd like to do is to be able to pull up, and I'm just going to pull up a past invoice that I've sent a customer from one of the early transactions. So if you want to get to past invoices, if you see a mistake you made, click on that little clock with the arrow around it. I'm going to go to view more. Yes, I want to leave without saving. And here is one of the first invoices that was entered. I'll just click on that, Watuga Furniture, which I think is one of the first ones that you'll be entering when you have a new customer. And you can see here the protocol that I'm using for entering invoices is the first line, and I've given this to you in the exercises where you'll just have to enter this information. Sales is the first line, and if you go back or you've watched the video that has to do with setting up inventory items, sales is a non-inventory item, but it is where you capture the amount that you're billing your customers. And then underneath that, what you're going to do is fill in all the individual items that are being restocked in the refrigerator for your customer. So pay attention to the quantity and pay attention to what those inventory items are. And by dropping these quantities in, what it'll do is it'll adjust your inventory on hand and also calculate your cost of goods sold. And there are some times in some of the exercises during the semester, I'm going to ask you, what is the inventory on hand of Fiji natural artesian bottled water? And you'll pull up a report and say, here's how many I have on hand. The way that that is calculated in the system is entering your your customer invoices this way. Hopefully by the time that you start working these exercises, the invoices to your customers will autofill the same way that that I showed in an earlier video that they autofill for your vendors. But part of this simulation we're doing this semester is simulating real life, and sometimes in real life in business your accounting information system doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. And when I was working through this exercise during the summer, and I worked on it during the latter part of May and then the first week of June, worked through all the exercises that I'm assigning you. QuickBooks did an update in the middle of it where it wasn't auto-filling on the sales side. Give yourself enough time for data entry in case that happens. Now, even with that happening, your exercises and doing this homework, each one of these assignments shouldn't take you more than 20 to 30 minutes at most if you're having to enter everything in. If it's auto-filling your customer invoices, you may be done in 10 minutes. So that's just a little bit of a word to the wise, is give yourself some time, because in life and in business, AIS doesn't work the way it's supposed to sometimes, and you're going to have to work with it. If there's a major catastrophe and QuickBooks is down, we'll all deal with it as a class, but for the most part, I don't anticipate that happening. So this is how you enter invoices from that you're sending to your customers. They're buying on credit. I hope this helps get you started into entering the invoices for your soda company. If you have any questions, just send me an email or ask me in class, and I'll be glad to help you out any way I can. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.